What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Shrek and we're back with another video. Alright guys, so today we're doing a video based on a head gasket. Hey Tata, say hi.
Hi.
So, can you do a head gasket on a Honda Civic for under 100 bucks? We already bought the gasket off of Amazon. Is like 30 something dollars, like 40 give or take. And we're gonna go to Harbor Freight right now and go buy some tools. So stay tuned guys, and we're gonna be with you in a minute. Okay, so we are at our favorite store, Harbor Freight. We bought that gasket. Oof, and Hurricane Hillary's on his way. We bought the gasket for like under 40 bucks on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. I'm not getting monetized for that one, but so we need some 12-point sockets and a toolkit. We're gonna do this for under 100 bucks guys. All right, so we're not gonna get those toolkits. Those are really bad, but 12 point, some 12-point sockets. You want 3/8. 12-point halves. All right, guys. So we will be taking. Oof. They're pricey. We'll take this one though. Or let's go budget. 3/8, half. So on some budget build. That's a half. We want 3/8. 3/8. Let's do this one right here. We'll do this one, 3/8, and then we're gonna do 12-point sockets. All right, guys. So our total was get the receipt going. Our total was 96 minus that 3/8 that we get that wobbly, and then I got a pen light. So all in all is 50 bucks. All right guys, so 50 bucks at Harbor Freight for tools, and then we spent under 40 bucks for a head gasket. I have to go get a reducer right now at O'Reilly's, so that's on the way. It's probably like 10 bucks. 10 bucks for a reducer, and yeah, like 60 bucks for tools maybe, plus the head gasket, which was under 40 bucks. All in all, under $100. So stay tuned. Let's see if we could get this head gasket going. All right guys, we're back, and then we're gonna get started now on the beautiful Civic build. I know you guys have been waiting for this. I've been told by many of subscribers and friends that what's up with the Civic. So we're gonna start the head gasket replacement today. Like I said, we're gonna try to do it for under $100. You might need like a screwdriver, some pliers. Hopefully you have those around the house. If not, pick up some pliers for maybe 5 bucks. I already showed you guys how much I spent on this, and the head gasket was about right under $40. A pair of screwdrivers, maybe pliers, you're looking at less than $10. Harbor Freight, guys, Harbor Freight. So right now, what I'm going to be doing is draining the oil, draining the coolant, and then we'll start removing components like the valve cover, guys. The valve cover, we will remove the distributor, power steering. I am removing the intake manifold and everything along with it, because we are doing the Y8 swap. Then I will be removing the exhaust manifold, and what else for now? So I did another thing. I did try to start it yesterday because we had it parked over there. So I did try to start it with the jump box. It wouldn't start. Going to give it one last try right now, but I doubt it. It wouldn't even crank at the end. So hopefully the engine didn't seize. Anyways, let me go ahead and drain the oil, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, guys, not sure if you guys can see this, but it did have oil, but it is milky. That oil is really milky, really thick and milky. So hopefully it didn't cause any damage to the block. Like I said, this car hasn't been touched in over 9 years. Same oil from when it first was stopped, and hopefully it's still good. We're draining the oil right now. We will be draining, I think that has way more than what it should have, but we will be draining the coolant next. Let's see how that one goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we went ahead and drained the oil, which does not give me any good feelings. And we went ahead and, ladies and gentlemen, so there's the old oil. It did have a little bit of dirt on the pan, but as you can tell, it was milky. And here's the coolant. The coolant, I don't know if you guys remember, we did add some before we turned it on because it was dry. So right now we're going to continue with our spark plugs, at least the cables. We're doing distributor, taking that off, the power steering pump, valve cover. Then we will probably take off the intake manifold. The only thing is, when I took off the Y8 from the donor car at the junkyard, I did use wrenches, and I was thinking right now I didn't buy any wrenches, so we might have to go look for a cheap wrench set. I have all these tools, guys, but this is just to show you guys that you could do it for under $100. So I might have to return that one. Well, not return it, but I'm gonna keep it here for the house. I will buy a cheaper set, especially because this one's a 12-point, which we don't really need. I ended up buying, oh, actually, I bought other sockets that are 12 points. The ones that I bought for the head studs. So I might actually just return those and buy myself some wrenches. We'll see what we end up doing. But let me go ahead and continue with this. And I can't do a little montage today, guys, just because I don't have my equipment, what I usually use. So I'm going to try to give you guys the best I can. So, be right back. All right, so I'll show you guys a little bit better how milky that oil is. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Or, yeah, you can tell it's really milky. So we had to take off 3 bolts for the distributor. They were 12 millimeters. Then I have to redo this sensor. I don't like how it's all taped up. And we took off this one. One's the oil pressure and the other one's a temperature sensor. I believe this is a temp, that's the oil or something like that. So next we'll take off the upper radiator hose. We will be replacing hoses. I think I do want to replace the radiator. And right now we're also doing the power steering pump. So let's see how far we get. Take off the power steering pump right now. I already took off the exhaust manifold, 3 bolts on the bottom, connecting it to the downpipe, I guess you could call it, from the exhaust manifold. So we'll just take off the shield and see, that right there is why I was saying that we might need wrenches. I have a socket specifically for O2 sensors, but if I can't take off, we could take off the sensor from the plug, and I think we could shimmy it off the manifold shield. So let me go ahead and take off some of the other stuff. We will be using the Y7 throttle body on the Y8 manifold, and then injectors, fuel rail, everything's going to be used the same. I will also be replacing spark plugs, of course, an oil change, oil filter. I will run a couple cycles of oil through it. Actually, we are replacing the fuel filter, and see what else we have to do. The brakes are mushy, so we have to do the brakes, bleed the clutch, run some fluid through there. So, but first things first, let's take off this valve cover, power steering pump, and I'll show you guys right now. All right, guys, here goes nothing. This is harder than I thought, one-handed. I definitely need my head mount tomorrow for my GoPro. Oh, Jesus Christ. Way worse than I thought. Way, way worse. Oh, God. This, guys, is kind of bad. Well, it is and it ain't. Shouldn't be too bad. We're gonna send off the head to the machine shop anyways, get it resurfaced. Hopefully they could get it cleaned up. All right, guys, it's a whole new day, And like I said, we will continue. As you guys can tell, I have a GoPro mounted on my forehead. So for the sake of the video, I will be using, as you guys know, I am a mechanic, so I do have all the tools necessary. I just went and bought that so you guys could see you could do it at under $100. So Harbor Freight tools. Like I said, we do have that other socket set that we will return. I'll show you guys how you guys could buy a set of wrenches from Harbor Freight and it'll still be under budget, because I believe that set was about $20, I think. I'm not sure, it's on the video. And then this was about 30, I believe. You could even get a cheaper set, but this one was better, even though they are 12 point. But it's beneficial because we're able to use it for the regular bolts and now for the head bolts, even though I do have 12 points in my tools. But so pretend I bought this at Harbor Freight. I will show you guys the ones from Harbor Freight that you can buy. And like I told you guys, we do need to take out the spark plugs. I want to take them out to look at them, so I'll be taking those off right now. And then I'm taking off, well, you guys saw me take off the valve cover yesterday, how nasty it looks. And let me set this down. I did take off the intake as well. Took off the intake tube, just 4 clips, and then just pop off the tube. We'll be taking off this intake box as well, because we will be going with the Y8 manifold, so it's a whole different intake setup. So I'm going to put some music over this video because I will be listening to music, so I'll stop my music here and there so you guys can see what we are doing. But let's get to it, guys. After all the miles and the wild nights that we've been through, put a little Cody Johnson. Let's go. All right, guys, so you guys saw, we went ahead and took off the intake manifold, exhaust manifold, and then a bunch of little miscellaneous hoses. We took off the fuel line, released the pressure. I had forgotten to disconnect the battery, so I went ahead and did that as well. We took off the throttle cable. I will be going back to see if I find a Y8 one. If not, like I said, we're running the Y7 intake, the Y7 throttle body, so that's not a big worry. Right now what I want to do is crank it over and see if we can put on top dead center. So just in case you do not know how to find top dead center, we are going to put a long screwdriver on the #1 cylinder spark plug, the hole. We took off all the spark plugs. Make sure your car's in neutral. This one was in gear, so I took it out of gear with a ratchet. Oh, and then I don't know if you guys can see, there is an up on the camshaft pulley. I believe that's what it's called, camshaft pulley, yeah. So there's an up, that's supposed to go up. That's when this screwdriver, you'll see it go up. So with the 17mm socket, I don't know if you guys can see in there, you go on the crank with the long ratchet and you just turn it. As you can see, there we go. And you see how it starts going back down. So that is our top dead center. There it is. That's top dead center, guys. All right, so now we will start breaking 10 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 on the other side. Believe they are 15ths, not sure. Let me see. For the sake of our hands and our, no, they're 14ths. For the sake of this video, my hands and everything, I will be cheating a little bit. We'll be using an extension with possibly a smaller one. Oh, I'm missing my small one. Well, I guess I lost my extension, one of them. Anyways, oh no, it's right here. Duh. All right, we'll be using an extension and a bigger ratchet. Sorry guys, I am cheating. You can do this with basic tools, but it's gonna be a struggle. So I will be taking off this one. I know there is an order how to take them off. Let me look for it. So we will be removing the timing belt as well. Let's see how we can slip it off. Yeah, we could slide it off. Oh yeah, oh yeah, just like that, nice and easy. Can I get a oh yeah, oh yeah? Let's go. Nice and easy. I really don't care about this timing belt. I would have done it with something softer if I was going to reuse it. Like I said, we will be replacing timing belt, water pump, and I believe that's it. Doing this so we avoid warping the head, guys. And then we do have to torque it back down to spec after. I am taking it to a machine shop to get it decked out, so that's another cost. So technically it won't be $100, but if you wanted to do the cheap easy way, you just take it off, sand it down, or remove whatever residues on there and scratch the machine shop, replace it, get some copper spray, get your head gasket nice and tacky, and replace everything back to how it goes. We're going to do it the proper way because we want to run nitrous on this engine soon, and once it blows we will rebuild it and hopefully run turbo. So here we go. And guys, like I said, we're doing this for a budget, otherwise I'd be using all my power tools. But I probably will start using it because this is way too back-breaking. So I showed you can do it with regular tools, but thankfully we're not there anymore, and we are able to do things a little quicker with our power tools. I mean, we did work hard to get all our tools, so might as well use them. Anyways, guys, Let me clean this up. You go ahead and bring a pan over here so we could throw the head on there. Or cardboard. Do we have cardboard? Put it there. Oh, almost forgot. We got one more clamp right here. There we go. All right. Let's see if it comes off. Still stuck? I believe so. Get this 14 again. Let's get this longer one. That one's not ready. Put these on a rag. We're not going to reuse these. We will be using the RP ones, so don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, guys. We're back on our Honda videos. I'll be adding more videos for Diesel Diaries, but please comment, share, like, subscribe so you guys can stay up to date on this build. Like I said, we're gonna start really working on it. And yeah, guys, let's see what it looks like underneath.